afternoon, everybody. Today, we are going to talk about the history of football. History of football is a very amazing history. So today, we are going to kick it out. What is football? Where it came from? So, football was basically started from Denmark. The history and the background of the football team, the football game, is quite gruesome. The first football was played in the 13th and the 14th centuries during the time of King Edward III, when the football was introduced to the people of England by Denmark, and there was a prince named Prince Danish. He was executed in England, and the king thought that his head would be a football, used like a ball. So football was played during that time. That was like the early times of football playing. And before football, it was called as mob football. Mob football means during the time medieval period, people used to play mob football, and it was like a very gruesome time and very violent and so on. It was quite brutal that you can't even imagine. However, the the football period was emphasizing by after century and after century. Football was used by a head and also mixed by a pig's stomach or by a pig's bladder. So it's very disgusting to hear. So the football game was like there were no rules for anybody. Like there was no red card or yellow card or green card. Okay, just like today current football players. Okay, so wherever you want to play, wherever you want to like gaze upon any area or whatever you want to see, you can look for a place and start playing. Whether it's 10 100 players or what so on, you can play at that time during the 14th century I'm talking about. Now, since when the 16th century had approached, when during the time of King Henry VIII, when he ruled from uh 15 1509 to 1547, after the rule of his father Henry VII. So his father Henry VII died in 1509. So from 1509 timeline to 1547, King Henry VIII ruled. So his timeline, during his time period, the people of England, they started to play football as the same way as during the time of the 14th century period. People used to play football, and there was a bloody bloodshed and so on, and this was because of the bloodshed and so on, gruesome era. So it began to be observed to people. Now in 1351, back in 1351, King Edward III, who was a very uh, loving king, was beloved by people. So his way was a bit different. He thought if football had emerged, much of that, then peasants will not work at all. They will forget about work and play football daily and constantly. So he banned football. So many of the peasants were so cruel, so protesting against the king that football was banned. Although that football was a great specific uh, sports for the peasants. So this was how football was has a story on behind this background of the football team. Then later on, football had expanded from England to France to Germany to Argentina to the whole European side and the Middle East side. Today, football is a very specific game and a very amazing, astonishing game today. That it's very health. It's very it observes our health to be exercised and be free to take fresh air. Sorry, to take fresh air and our oxygen. We play football in today's currently lives. This was how football was used. If you compare football from in the medieval time and the current era, there were no rules for anybody in football game. It was called more football, but now it's called football after the 15th century. So today we have a lot of teams: Argentina, England, Spain, Germany, Italy, and all other sources of country teams which play football today. The first football was invented in 1869, back 200 years before. This is how our football team plays, and I hope you enjoyed the story. I will click the like button and please tell me how is it.